As we continue to deepen our understanding of the definition of value, before we start to broaden and talk about why it's important and how we do it, we've defined it for the business again as the expected future free cash flow discounted at the opportunity cost of capital. What we're going to now do is look at each of these components. There are two: the expected future free cash flow, the opportunity cost of capital. Let's attack the first one in this short video. What does it mean when we say the expected future free cash flows? Well, free cash flow is a reference to the cash flows remaining after the business has covered all of its costs, its suppliers, employees, taxes, investments, any expenses, any costs that needs to incur and cover in order to continue to keep the business rolling. That's the free cash flow. Future, that's a little bit easier. It means not in the past, the future. The tricky word, I think, in the definition is actually the word expected. But there's a word before that one which also needs to be emphasized, which is the. What does it mean to be the expected? Well, to convey that principle, we're going to imagine a coin toss. I'm going to toss a coin, and when the coin comes up heads, I'll pay you $50. If the coin comes up tails, I'll pay you $150. It's a fair coin, no messing around, so it's 50-50 probability of heads or tails. And now I'm going to ask you this question. What do you expect to receive as a payment? And now I ask this question at INSEAD in the classroom, and I get a wide range of answers, usually limited to either 50, 150, or 100. Sometimes people say 75. We won't go that path. Now, 50 or 150 are both the possible outcomes. That's true. What is 100 exactly? Well, 100 is what you get if you were to take the average of the two outcomes, each multiplied by its probability of happening. 50-50 chance, that means there's a 0.5 probability of getting a 50 and a 0.5 probability of getting 150, which gives you an average of 100. Now, about half the class says 100 and a quarter says each of the others, let's imagine. If everybody in the class were to say 50, would that make 50 the expected? And the answer is, well, no. That would show that everybody's pessimistic. If everybody were to say 150, would that make 150 the expected? And again, no, not really. That would simply show that the classroom is filled with very optimistic people. The expected is the average of the outcomes, each weighted by its probability. It's a mathematical definition. And that emphasizes the word the that comes before it. You are free to expect 50, and maybe you'll be happier. If you go through life expecting 50, when you get to 50, fine. But the other half the time you get to 150, you'll be very happy. If you go through life expecting 150, then when you get 150, you'll be fine. When you get 50, you won't be so happy. You might be quite disappointed. The expected isn't asking what you expect or what I expect. It's asking what is expected here, according to the possible outcomes and according to their probabilities. In business, we aren't asking, what are your expected future free cash flows? What are his? What are hers? We're asking, do you understand the business well enough to know what is expected? Those are the cash flows that determine the value of the business. The word expected is a really important word. The future and the free cash flows, also very important. But perhaps the word the is the most important word in that part of the definition. It's about, do you understand what is expected? It's what is expected that determines the value of the business.